Hi, this is Phil Collen of Def Leppard, and you're watching CMS TV.
It is your classic metal show right here on the classicmetalshow.com. Kicking off the show tonight, we heard something brand new from the latest Armored Saint release from their Emotional Factory Reset release. That is Moonshot. Hit a Moonshot, rather. And then we just heard something new from Metal Church from their Dead to Rights release with Brainwash Game. And a guy who's been brainwashing you for 30 years, making you believe he's such a tough guy, my good friend and partner, Chris Akin. What's going on there, Chris?
What is up, boss? How we doing?
We are back again, next to the last day of May already.
Halfway through the year.
Almost.
Seems like we just got back from Christmas break.
Yeah, no shit. God damn it. I'm going to be 75 before you know it. I'm going to be as old as Jackal before you know it.
Well, then you'd be way older than 75.
What I mean is I'm going to be as old as Jackal is now. How's that?
Yeah, like I said. I think he's like 95.
The curmudgeonly Jackal.
Yeah, he's like sitting around looking at his Perry Como records going, I remember when this came out.
Right. This was hot. These were the sounds we were listening to.
Those people should have never gone to that hip twister Elvis.
Well, we are back, and thought I'd just start off the show with some new blood, with some new tunes from two of my favorite all-time bands, which happen to be going out on tour together, which only makes sense. Two of my favorite bands, very similar in genre, both having brand new discs out and touring together.
So when did you get the phone call to tell them to tour together?
Well, I recommended this. I saw them touring together back in 2017. I was at the Whiskey with them, and they played a show together at the Whiskey. And I said, you know what? This is like putting peanut butter in my chocolate.
There you go.
And I said, if the opportunity ever arises where you simultaneously release new music, I think you should tour together again.
Yeah.
And I got a phone call from John Bush this week and Kurt Vanderhoof, and they said, you know what? We thought about what you said back in 2017, and we're going to do it.
That's right. They're like, with your permission, Neely, we're going to get out there.
You have my blessing. You have my blessing. Please do. Carry on, fellas.
Is it coming your way?
No, it's only West Coast.
Okay.
Well, at least the dates announced currently is just West Coast.
Sure. They'll probably announce the other coast.
I think the closest dates that are anywhere near the East Coast, and this is not even near the East Coast, I think they're playing in Denver. I think that's as far east as they're going. The rest of the dates are like Idaho and Oregon and Washington and California and Nevada and places like that. But hopefully they'll announce some East Coast dates, but these are late in the year this year, and maybe in the spring they'll head to the East.
Yeah, because if I remember right, Kurt Vanderhoof does not like to tour in the cold. Didn't he tell us that once, that he hates touring in the cold?
Well, yeah, because they did the takeover at Peabody's. Remember,
right?
They did the takeover, and Kurt likes to wear his short pants.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not a cold person.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. Which is weird because he lives in Washington.
Yeah,
so that's not exactly warm there.
Well, it's not terrible, but it's not exactly a temperate climate either. So
no, they get snow there, don't they?
Sure, they do. Yeah, they do. I mean, it's not like winter storm type snow, but
it's not like Wisconsin, 13 feet of snow in an afternoon or whatever.
No, they got a lot of rain and dreary days and cold and wet, but anyway, if they don't announce any shows for the East, I may have to make a trip out to the West Coast and at least catch a show somewhere.
I'm sure they're going to do it on this coast too. There's no way they're going to both put out records and tour that half of the country only.
Right. Right. Well, like I said, the dates that they've announced so far are later this year, I think in November or something.
Right.
So they may do something in the new year.
Yeah.
So
They might be seeing how it does over there to see if they want to come to this side.
true.
Because it is a lot more expensive to come to the other side of the country and tour.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just glad to see that two of my favorite bands got new music, which both solid records.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I like obviously seeing them play together is just it's a perfect match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great night of metal there.
Yeah, I was lucky enough, like I said, to see them play together at the Whiskey back in 2017, and when they came, Metal Church came here and they played with Doro. They were playing at kind of a divey club in the Chicagoland area called Reggie's.
Right? Is that that place closed? Didn't it?
I don't know.
I think I saw that Reggie's closed.
It may have. I mean, I'm sure that it wasn't in the greatest of neighborhoods, and who knows? I really don't know if that's the case or not, because I just won't. I mean, I really have to want to do something to head into the Chicago area to do anything these days.
Right. And to be very clear, I'm 1,000% wrong on that. It is wide open and fine.
Okay.
I don't know why I thought that, but I thought I'd read that somewhere. So.
Well, I wasn't aware either way, so it was news to me. If it is, it's news to me that it isn't. So.
Well, all right, I'm allowed to be wrong. Whatever. Believe me, the YouTube dickheads tell me every day that I'm wrong. So
yes,
whatever.
of course. I mean, we got to correct every little misstep along the way.
Of course we do. And even if it isn't a misstep, then it's a bad opinion. It's A or
Right,
B.
of course.
Nothing's ever. You're right on, dude.
Yeah, your opinion is wrong.
Yeah,
you have the wrong opinion.
Yeah, it's never. Man, good call there. Or that made me think. Nah, never that. It's always you're fucking wrong, or you're fucking stupid, or you're fat and stupid, or whatever. I get them all.
Well, the thing is that these comments always come from people who do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's kind of how I look at it. It's like, okay, keep commenting on what I say, dickwad.
All right, give me the link to your show.
Yeah, or don't. I'm fine that you have nothing to offer, but whatever. I know why you have nothing to offer, because you have nothing to offer. The best you can offer is a wise ass comment on YouTube. So Have at it, dick fuck.
Right.
I hate YouTube.
Well, again, I'm glad you take care of all that back end work, because I just don't have the patience or the temperament for it.
I've pushed a bunch of the YouTube, especially off on my son, because I can't stand it either. I just look at all the fucking idiots. Honestly, it's like you took every one of the really bad Eddie Trunk callers over the last 10 years and gave them a home to offer their bad takes. And It's in the YouTube comments.
Sure.
Because every comment is like the anthrax thing. Me and you got murdered on the anthrax thing.
Okay.
For saying Scott really should just play his songs. That's basically what we said. He shouldn't do a political song. They should just sing their fucking songs. That's what we said. And we just got absolutely torched. It's okay, fine.
Well, all right.
Whatever.
No, that's the whole thing about YouTube. It's free. It costs you nothing to type your snarky comments in there.
That's right.
Like, no, good on you.
Mm-hmm. Costs nothing because it has no value. That's why.
Of course.
It's just a shitty platform.
That's the whole thing. There is no putting your money where your mouth is, because there's no money involved.
No, not really. I mean, you could monetize, make a couple of dollars here and there, but that ain't much.
Well, what I mean is there's no cost behind putting a snarky comment out there.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. All you gotta do is have a fucking account off a burner email.
Oh, well, hey, good on them. I hope they live long, prosperous lives. Whoever they may be.
I would hope that I read about them dying in a fire. Every one of them. Okay. Today in a fiery death was JK 326134. Good. Good and goodbye, you fuckwad.
Right.
You and your opinion can both burn in hell, you fuckhead.
Wow. Well, these guys really do get under your skin a little bit, don't
Not
they?
really. Not especially. I get frustrated with the stupidity. I don't care. Look, believe me, the comments of "you're a fat fuck, you look like Santa Claus, look at these two old fucks, blah blah," that shit does not bother me at all. What bothers me is when they say something that's just completely fucking dumb. That's white knightish. I guess that's really what it is. I hate the white knights. And it's so constant on there. You say, how can it be Judas Priest without Tipton and Downing? Some basic thing.
Yeah. Just your opinion.
Yeah. You're a fucking idiot because clearly they're better now with Sneap, and you don't know shit about metal because Andy Sneap is produced. And it's like, it's just our fucking opinion. It's the same as if you said it to me in a bar.
Right.
You wouldn't start a fucking fight with me over it.
No, but again, KK and Tipton is what got them there.
Yeah.
This is the reason you even know Judas Priest.
Yeah. But the whole point though is it's not about that. It's about no matter what the point is, they just want to fight and protect their savior, their savior of the music world, whoever it is. So fucking dumb.
I know. Well, whatever. I don't get involved with reading comments or seeing any of it. I just don't care. Sure. I don't care enough about it to even bother to look at it.
No, I get it.
I don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. Could care. What is going on with your face over there?
I got something in my eye. It will not come out.
Well, the more you rub it, the worse it gets.
I know. So I've been rubbing it for 50 years. That's what happened to my fucking face. All that rubbing. You gotta see my dick. It's in really ugly shape.
Very good. Well, I haven't corresponded with you at all this week.
No, I thought you died for a minute.
You know what? It's just everything is just so overwhelming these days. Just so much much
work
going on. Yeah, that mostly, but just so much going on. I mean, it's I can only what do you want to steer the ship so long without having a first mate.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
So I need to delegate some, have that opportunity to delegate some of that. So
are they going to give you that opportunity to
maybe
bring in a Gilligan to your skipper?
Maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens, but yeah, it's just overwhelming. It's tiresome. I just don't want to become come home, have dinner, get a little workout in, watch a little videos or TV or whatever I feel like doing, and going to sleep every day.
Sure.
So I made a point to go out last night.
Okay.
And went down and visited a friend of mine. He's a bartender down the road here, and went down and had a little dinner and shot some shit and talked about just general shit.
Right.
And came home. Just wanted to get out of the house and socialize a little bit.
Sure. I get it. Would you actually consider retiring in a couple of years?
I don't know. I don't think I'll ever retire.
I mean, retiring, quitting this job that is so busy for you, getting retirement money, and then doing something else.
It's hard to tell. I mean, I think it would probably depend on what strikes me at the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whenever I make a decision, it's because something really just gets in my craw. You know what I mean? It just it's sort of like, I'm switching gears. It hits you like an epiphany one day. I never think about these things long term. I never sit there and plot and plan. Well, in 2 years, it's going to hit me one day. I'm going to wake up and it's going to just be a decision that I make.
You're going to wake up and say, I'm not going in today.
Yeah.
Hello, people. I quit.
That could be the case. I don't know if that'll be the case, but typically when I make a decision on something, it's not a long-term planning thing.
Sure.
Something just hits me one day and it's such a strong conviction. It just leads me to believe this is the decision to make.
Sure.
So for me, nothing ever comes into into focus as far as like, well, in 3 years, well, in 2 years, I'm gonna, because I don't even know what tomorrow's gonna bring. So I never
Sure.
do that. I never
I
do
get it.
that.
I
So,
get it.
so as far as future plans are concerned, it's just going to hit me one day. That's how I look at it. I how's the old saying go? I fly by the seat of my pants, as it were.
Right.
Yeah, and I do. And typically the decisions I make are usually good decisions. I mean, you've known me for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that I try to make judicious decisions.
Sure.
When it comes to doing something. A lot of times I will discuss it with people that I, consider close friends or confidants, which aren't many, you being one of them.
Yeah,
You and I have
I hear
talked.
most of the stuff.
Yeah.
Just
And,
vice versa.
sometimes it takes a little thought and rational, discussion and reasonable thought. And then I make a decision based on that, but it's never this, people go, well, me and the wife, we're going to retire in 10 years and then we're going to buy our little home and blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to do this and then we're going to do that. That day may never come.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what, dude? It's funny you say that because I used to think that same way about, well, I've got this plan and I'm going to work till this age, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. And then I watched my dad, who had the vision. As long as I can remember, he was going to work till he was 60. He was going to save up enough money, and then he was going to buy an RV and he was going to travel. That's what he was going to do.
Okay.
And when he turned 50, he fell on a loading dock, broke his neck, ended up in the wheelchair, and that was that. That was the end of the dream.
Right, exactly.
And he spent the last 10 years or whatever of his life upset that he didn't get to follow through with his dream.
Right.
So after that, it's like, you know what, I'm going to go today. And if I decide to get up tomorrow and work, so be it. If not, so be that too. If I decide to be homeless, so be that too. I don't care.
Yeah, I agree. The thing is a lot of people get saddled with a lot of responsibility and they overextend themselves and they have huge mortgages that they have to pay off. And, they've got car payments and they got college loans to pay and they've got this to do. And, you just become a beast of burden. Me, if something happened to me tomorrow, nothing would there would be no consequences for anybody or anything.
Yeah. The hardest consequence for you is figuring out who gets what.
Yeah. And I pretty much arranged that with my nephews already.
Right.
So I'm just like, yeah, you get 50%, you get 50%.
There it is.
And that's it. I've made arrangements for my nephews. I've made it clear that, they get half each. These are my sister's boys, and each one of them gets half of what I got. You can have it.
It's no wonder James watches the show all the time. He's on the countdown. I'm going to get me a new truck. Fuck yeah.
But it's just like it's pointless to even think about that for me. It's just like it's just stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm gone, it's just what difference does it make?
When you're dead, it really doesn't matter. I've been kind of in that mode. I've been I haven't rewritten my will. Like I've rewritten it a couple times, but I haven't put the notary to it, so to speak. Since my divorce. Mm-hmm. So my will on record, I guess, that I have still has me splitting with the ex. So I got to fix that. Right. And I've been, she actually reached out to me about my will and how I'm doing or whatever. And I have it all worked out kind of the same way. I'm leaving it all to one son and then he's going to distribute it because I don't want it to be a big pain in the ass and then fighting over assets and,
Yeah, I get you.
I just don't want that. So I'd rather just leave it to one. He knows what I want. He either does my wishes or he doesn't, but I trust him to follow my wishes. Right. But, you have to think about it on some level, but you can't obsess on it. Well, here's a book. Did I sign it? Well, who gets that? Because it's worth more sign. Fuck out of here with that. Not doing that. Right.
Well, again, the majority of what I have obviously is there's a lot of rock and roll memorabilia and collectibles and things like that. And, I wanted to go to somebody who would have an appreciation for that or have an actual interest in that, So somebody who understands the significance of it, I guess.
Not Rock Fan 3260 on eBay.
No. And for someone to be able to look at a CD that's been, say, signed, or one of these things I have on my wall or something, it's like, holy shit, that's really cool. It's like, wow, this person doesn't live, isn't alive anymore,
right?
Whatever it is, it's just a appreciation. That's it. Not that there's any monetary value, because to me it has no monetary value. I know somebody would pay money for it, but in my mind, I don't look at, well, this is worth at least, who gives a shit? It's a signed poster,
I mean, I have a couple of things that I have that I keep up with the value on, just because if I ever get in a rough spot, I will sell. Like, I have this Babe Ruth baseball signed by Babe Ruth and Mel Ott, 2 Hall of Famers, 1,200 home runs between the two guys. It's a pretty valuable ball.
Sure.
And I keep track of it just in case, but I never would be like, okay, in the will, this is worth this, and my estate is worth that, so this person gets this much less. I can't be bothered with that kind of shit.
Do with it what you will.
Yeah, really. I just don't care what you do with it. Just do it. I'm dead. I don't care.
Right. I'm taking it with me.
Yeah, put it all in the coffin.
Yeah.
Put it all in the oven and burn us all together.
No, nobody's getting shit. That's taking it with me.
Because yesterday don't mean shit.
It's funny. Too funny. But other than that, just a lot of work. I'm glad the weather's finally getting nicer. And just a reminder for those who have an interest, we brought this up a few weeks ago, that Union Pacific big boy is coming through. So I will be seeing it this week. I will be seeing it on Friday.
I think it's next week here, June 6th, I think.
Yeah, it rolls through here. It rolls through here on the 5th of June.
Okay.
And then it goes to Fort Wayne, I believe. It's going to be there on Saturday for some kind of a Norfolk Southern
June 8th. It's Monday here.
Employee thing, and then it's going to travel over to Ohio on Sunday and Monday.
So it must be the 8th that it's here then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I want to go. I actually do want to go and see.
Well,
see
it is
that big
stopping
motherfucker.
It's got a whistle stop in Euclid. So
I know that's close enough. It's travel for me, but it's not as much travel as.
So I'm gonna catch the whistle stop in a little town called Argus, Indiana.
Now, what happens at the stop? Do you know? Do you get to get on it, or do you get to touch it, or anything?
No, you get to get up near it and see it.
Stand there and take a picture or whatever.
But I think they'll let you get as close as 10 feet.
Okay.
Because this thing spits out a lot of steam.
Oh yeah.
And that steam is like at 300 psi, and it's steam is hot, so they don't need anybody getting any burn. But from the photos that I've seen, or at least some of the videos that I've seen. Usually where they have a whistle stop, they have the barrier set up alongside the track.
Right.
And so you can walk along the train and take pictures and, take a look at it and things like that, Right.
I just want to see how big it is. That's really all I want to see is how fucking big is it?
That thing's a monster. I mean, I've been keeping track of it. So, it's on its way here. So I believe it's in Nebraska right now.
Okay.
So you can keep track of it over at the Union Pacific website. They have a track the big boy, and you can see where it's at and progress it's making and so on and so forth. So if you have any interest in history and like trains and so on and so forth, and you're in the Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York area, it's heading that way this week. So
right on.
And then it's going to be at Steamtown, USA for like a week or two over in Scranton, Pennsylvania, where there's there's a big boy on display there. It's a
Okay.
non-working big boy, a decommissioned big boy, but they're going to have both of them side by side, I guess.
Is it the same size or is it a little
Yeah, it's the
bigger or
same one.
smaller?
No, it's the same one. Same one. There were 25 of them built, and there's only 8 in existence.
Nice.
And there's one at Steamtown in, like I said, in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and the only working one, is going to be there in Steamtown for like a week or week and a half or something.
Okay.
And both of them will be like side by side on display.
Right.
So you can go over there and check it out. And then it's going to head down to Philadelphia, and it's going to be in Philadelphia for the 4th of July.
Okay.
So then it's going to head go back to Wyoming, and I guess it's going to pass through here again, like I think this 3rd week of July or something.
All right.
So then it's going to head down once it gets through here, and it stays overnight in an area called South Holland, which is south of the city of Chicago. It's going to head south down toward like Bloomington, Illinois, and down to St. Louis, and across to like Kansas City,
Right.
and Omaha, Nebraska, and things like that on its way back to the Wyoming.
That's
so
cool.
looking forward to it. I'm very excited about that.
Well, yeah, I was unaware of it. Like I didn't know any of the history until you brought it to the show. But I love trains. I just think trains are cool. I'm like that goober Sheldon from the fucking Big Bang Theory. I love trains, man. They're just cool. Like the old ones though, like the current, like the RTA or any of that kind of shit. That's
there's nothing cool about that.
no. But the old fashioned ones where you had to have a guy there with a shovel fucking chugging in coal or else the thing would stall. I mean, that's cool shit.
Yeah,
When you think about that when you think about all that shit about trains back in the 1800s and when they would go to fix them, they had that little cart thing and they would pump on the cart to drive that thing.
A little hand cart.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool shit, man. When you consider the upgrade that was from riding a horse from place to place or a covered wagon or something to all of a sudden having this thing that would take you wherever you were going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, between that and boats and, obviously with boats, you had boats that sank. So people were always scared of boats because boats was a little more like dangerous, I think. Don't you think? Like people were afraid to get on a boat from here and go to England or whatever because they're afraid of drowning or getting eaten by a shark or some shit.
Or just having a shipwreck.
Yeah, just a shipwreck, whatever, getting hit by a whale or something and sinking, whatever it would be. And then, then the trains came and really there's obviously been a bunch of train wrecks over the course of history, but there's far less of those than there are pretty much any kind of travel, isn't there? There's obviously more plane crashes and more car crashes and shit like that than trains.
Yeah.
Trains just go where they're going. They get where they're going pretty much every time.
Yeah, for the most part, unless you go through East Palestine in Ohio, and then you have a wreck down there.
Yeah, well, or you have terrorism.
Yeah, exactly. But so anyway, again, if you're interested in seeing the Union Pacific big boy on the East Coast, it's on its way. So
sure.
So it's cutting through Ohio and it'll be through the Lorain and Cleveland area and Euclid, and before it heads up toward Erie and across upper state New York,
right,
and over to Scranton, Pennsylvania. So
very cool,
good stuff. Looking forward to it. And as I'm, my brother-in-law owns a farm, and that track runs right through his field.
Okay.
So he's going to get a personal view of it going right through his field back there.
Very cool. Is that where you're going to see it, or are you going to go to the whistle stop?
Well, I'm going to go to the whistle stop because then I'm going to head down to Kankakee, Illinois right after that, because Doc and Lita Ford, Firehouse, and Warrant are playing that evening.
Okay. Look at you.
Yep.
Why don't you take the train to that?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll ride the steam engine down there.
I'm sure it's only probably like $6 million to ride it.
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, good time. So, yeah, just taking some time off for myself for Thursday and Friday, and
Right on.
seeing the train and hanging out with the Dockin boys, and just kind of enjoying some of the nice weather and getting the Harley out. I got the Harley out on Memorial Day
Okay.
because it was good weather out. Finally,
Right.
wasn't blowing 100 miles an hour, and it wasn't raining, and
Right.
it was good weather for a change. So I was able to get the bike out and get
How'd
it
she
going.
ride after sitting for a few months?
Just fired right up.
Mm.
Fired right up. No issue. Just hit the
No
hit the
sputtering or anything at the beginning?
Not at all.
Nice.
Not at all. Yeah, Don had it all tuned up, had the oil changed, had it tuned up, had everything all, running well before he shipped
Yeah,
it.
but it sat for almost a year.
Well, I
Did
had
you
it.
go and start it?
Oh yeah, I started it numerous times. Like
Okay.
every few weeks, I just fired it up.
Okay.
Just to keep the lubrication through the engine and things.
You weren't
But
like
yeah,
me with my motorcycle, put it in the garage in fucking October, not even touch it till May.
No, I would just come home. I would just come home, and if it was a decent day, I'd roll it, out toward the, garage and fire it up, and let
Right.
it run for a couple of minutes.
Sure.
I did that probably about once a month.
Right.
So when I fired it up there on Memorial Day, it started right up. Like,
Well, that's cool.
didn't take but just one press of the starter.
Right on.
Yep, it's all good. So things are looking good. I'm feeling optimistic and ready to have a good summer.
Sure. I'm with you there.
Everything just been flying by so quickly. It's just like, holy shit, I gotta.
It'll be fall before you even realize it's summer.
I know. It's just like I got to do something to try to slow time down a little bit and enjoy it.
Yeah, no kidding. It has been flying. This year is really going fast, and I know we say that all the time, and
But it has.
and people, believe me, I get the messages. Oh, you guys gonna fucking talk about the date again this week? It's like, yeah, we are, we are, asshole.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. We have to kill this first hour, and that's how we do it with calendar talk.
Yeah.
Dicks.
Then don't tune in and listen.
Yeah, or how about tune in at 10:30? How about that? Because we're always gonna do calendar talk. So go fuck yourself. But I'm with you though. This year is just flying by so far. And I think it's because we're both busy.
Yes, that's the main thing. It's just being busy from the minute you get up to the minute you go to bed. It's just can't take a breather for a minute.
No. You almost need some bad days just so that the day slows down. Oh shit, my mom died. Well, at least this day will take a little longer.
Yeah.
It's about what it gets to at this point. It's just like shoom, flying by.
Yeah, no kidding. So what did your week consist of this week?
A lot of work. I was working with a guy you're going to see apparently next week. I was working for John Levin a bit this week, working on a project for him and his brother. And did a bunch of interviews. I pulled a shocker on everybody and interviewed Phil Collen from Def Leppard.
I saw that. Now, how did that come about?
Dude, it was the craziest thing. He has a side project called Manraze.
Okay.
And it's him, Paul Cook from the Sex Pistols, and this guy Simon Laffey, who was with Phil pre-Def Leppard in that band Girl that he was in.
With Phil Lewis.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know nothing about
it was
Girl.
Phil Lewis, Phil Collen,
And Simon Laffey.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I got the email that they were doing a box set, that they're releasing a box set of Manraze stuff, 5 CD box set.
Okay.
And I just threw the publicist, and the truth of it, and now I'll tell the truth, now that it happened. The truth was the guy I wanted to talk to was Paul Cook from Sex Pistols.
Okay.
Because they're on tour, and they're on tour with the Scab singer now.
Right.
So I wanted that. That was kind of, and I thought that was more feasible. And I'll be honest, in a million years, I thought asking for Phil Collen from Def Leppard was going to be received and be dismissed, honestly. I mean, dude, that Def Leppard guys do not do little podcasts.
Yeah, I know they don't.
They don't. They do Variety. They do Rolling Stone, LA Times, New York Times, Sirius. They'll do Eddie. But Eddie's about as small as it gets for those guys. It really is. And so I just threw it out there and I said, hey, would like to talk to Phil. I know it's a long shot. If not Phil, maybe Paul Cook. That was how I worded it, thinking, okay, well, they'll try to appease me with the Paul Cook. I mean, I've played this game a little bit.
Right. Sure.
And I get a message back. It says, I can get you Phil Collen. How does next, Friday sound? And I was like, okay, cool. And I didn't, in a rare move from me, because I usually kind of put it out there, what I'm getting ready to do or whatever.
Yeah, you didn't want to jinx it.
I did not want to jinx this one because it's definitely going to be the biggest interview I do this year.
Okay.
Not even that. I mean, it's very clear. I've said a million times about how disappointed Def Leppard continually makes me.
Right.
But still, it's a big interview.
It is.
And so I didn't say a word, not to you, not to anybody. I was just like, I am not going to put the stink on this fucking interview. And what was crazy was yesterday. So I did the interview yesterday and I had 2 interviews in front of it. I had Roland Grappow from Master Plan and then Tim King from Soil. And he has this death metal band that I love more than anything called Embryonic Autopsy. So I had these 2 and you know me, I'm an excitable person anyway. So, I mean, I woke up thinking about this Phil Collen interview. And I was literally all morning, I'm going through my notes and I'm making, me who never has even a note for an interview. I had this laundry list of notes. Make sure you ask this, make sure you ask that, get the ID, right. Get I had this whole list of shit because, I'm only going to get this shot once. I was like, I got to make it work. So I'm doing the other interviews, and the other interviews were fine. They went real well, and Tim and I are friendly, so it was more like just 2 buds catching up, really. So it was good. So then it gets to be in about 2 o'clock. The interview's at 2, and I'm sitting there, and, back up a little bit. Right before it, 10 minutes before 2 o'clock, I get a text from the publicist that says, good news, I'm also going to have Simon Laffey on with you. And I'm like, oh no, I don't know shit about Simon Laffey. I really don't. I don't know nothing about him. And he's not even an active musician anymore. It's not like he's also in another band or another popular band or whatever. So I'm quickly scrambling, trying to figure out who is Simon Laffey. And, I knew that he was in the band Girl, but I didn't know anything after him. And, it turned out he was an author or whatever. So I'm scrambling, trying to get ready for it. Gets to be 2 o'clock. Neither of them show up. I'm like, son of a bitch. 201, 202, 202, Simon pops in. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? We're chatting for a minute. And he goes, I'm not sure if Phil's coming or not. I was like,
you're just like, oh.
I was like, no.
I knew this was going to happen.
I was like, son of a bitch. And then sure enough, Phil popped right in and we just talked. And it was funny because Simon, when I was talking to him, he's like, I don't even know why I'm in on this. They just hit me up and asked me if I could do this on spur of the moment. And I even said to him, I said, well, most of my questions are geared at Phil. Is that okay? And he's like, yeah, that's cool. So I just asked him like 1 or 2 questions about, working together, while he's busy with Def Leppard and whatnot. But for the most part, it was a Phil interview.
Sure.
And he was great. I mean, he was really very, I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't what I got. You know what I mean? He was like very normal guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe it's just the imagery. We spent 40 years watching him, flex without the shirt and everything. It's like I expected some arrogant asshole guy, I think.
Right.
And I was prepared for that. And then he was just the nicest guy, talks right up, didn't have to work him too hard to get interviewed or to get questions answered. answered real, but not over wordy, like I'm so fucking important you will listen to my speech.
Right.
You know, I mean, all the things that we hate in interviews, he does not do. He was just cool.
Yeah.
And I only asked him the one Def Leppard question, which I put out on wherever, Rumble, I guess, about, and I can play it if you want to hear it. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I asked him about if he realized Pour Some Sugar on Me was one of those songs that's just reserved for the all-time elites, you know, like A Stairway to Heaven or A Dream On or, you know, Hotel California, you know, one of those songs that everybody, no matter what they listen to,
they all know it.
They all know it. If
Right.
you're a jazz fan, you know that song. If you're a country fan, a rap fan, it doesn't matter. You know, and I put that out there to him and he answered it. He was very cool about, you know, and he talked about how it was Mutt Lange and what he said made a lot of sense. He was talking about, you know, that Mutt Lange was wanted to write a We Will Rock You type of a song. And then when you start thinking about Pour Some Sugar on Me, it is a damn carbon copy.
Yeah, it's an anthemic theme.
It really is. Now, why can't I find it? Son of a bitch. Well, yeah. Whatever. Y'all can find it on wherever, Rumble or Locals or wherever. It's out there somewhere. But
during the turn of the century, for 99 2000 New Year's Eve, I was standing with Phil Collen when the clock struck 12.
Look at you
at the All-State Arena. It was Akin, Def Leppard, and Scorpions.
Okay.
On New Year's Eve, and I was out watching Scorpions, and Phil Collen came out and stood next to me, and we were just standing there, just chit-chatting it up, you know. And then they stopped the show to ring in the new year, and the place didn't go dark, and mayhem didn't happen, and the computers didn't shut down, and nothing happened.
Right. It all stayed the way it was supposed to somehow.
Yeah, we just kind of shook hands, and he just kind of patted me on the shoulder, and, you know, Happy New Year, and, you know, that kind of a thing, you know.
Right.
So that was my brush with Phil Collen.
Well, this was my brush with Phil Collen, and, you know, it was pretty damn cool, actually. Here we go. Well, Phil, let me ask you one. This is the only fanboy question I'll ask, and
Sure.
I never ask fanboy questions, but I got to ask you this, and it's obviously a Def Leppard question. Looking at, and I'm going to preface this by asking you not to give me the standard, it's an honor. Okay? I want a real answer.
Yeah.
I look at a song personally like Pour Some Sugar on Me, which everybody knows that song. It's
right.
You know, I mean, I don't care if you don't listen to rock music at all. Somebody listens to jazz knows it, or country knows it, or rap. It's one of those songs that's going to stand the test of forever. It's Stairway to Heaven. It's Don't Stop Believin'. It's Hotel California, Freebird. On that level that nobody really...
All right, get to it.
The biggest bands in the world, most of them don't have that song. Bruce Springsteen does not have that song.
Right,
you know,
okay.
With that said, this is a two-part thing. Do you hear it and recognize that as that you created one of the greatest songs of all time? And B, when did you realize that it was bigger than just another hit?
Now, is that a good question or no? Very good question. And especially since you told him, and don't give me some kind of a cookie cutter answer.
Yeah, don't give me the, well, we're honored.
Yeah, just give me a thought out answer here.
Mm-hmm. And he does. So here's his answer.
Yes, I do realize that. And the trick is we were always trying to write that, you know, and this goes back to Mutt Lange, because this was his thing. Hang on a sec. He said we need I Love Rock and Roll. We need We Will Rock You. Those songs, you go, oh, I wish I'd wrote that. And was always on the search for that. And with us, and he like, look, you're a rock band. We need it to kind of sound sexy, da 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 da. We'd done the Hysteria album. We'd finished it. We had 10 tracks, and Joe was goofing off on an acoustic guitar, and Mutt goes, "What's that?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't know." He said, hey, "Hang on a minute. Let's just work on this." And this is Mutt, said, "Okay, this Run DMC Aerosmith thing. You've got Public Enemy. You've got all of these rap songs, and they're coming. This was, in the 80s, obviously, and rap was before it became hip hop. It was rap."
Right.
And he said, let's make these things. Let's join them up. So the rhythm, love is like a bomb, baby, come and get it on. Living like a love with a red eye on. It's rap. It's a hip hop kind of meter. So we'd done that song in 10 days. So the rest of the album was a year and a half. And when we got to that one, Mutt was going, this is very specific. And I think this could be that song. This is Mutt saying this. So, and it kind of sounded like it. It sounded like it from the get-go. And even the guitar riff, I was playing this thing that was more funk driven. And he goes, no, let's make it rock. Put a gap in where the snare goes. Da, 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 da. Oof, da, da. So it's a no-brainer. So all of that stuff, some people go their whole career trying to do that. I mean, we just found out last year that song also won an adult film award for the most strippers dancing to a song. So it's got all these other things to it, and we laugh at it and blah blah blah. But it kind of still gives it, I guess, more credibility, and it kind of it shows what an amazing thing that is. But no, we're always trying to write that song. Even on the Diamond Star Halos, the song like Kick. They're always based on that thing. I Love Rock and Roll. Pour Some Sugar on Me. We Will Rock You. There's a few of them. These anthemic songs like that, and they're very hard to. Well, plus they've got a click as well. So. Yeah, we were very aware that was one of those songs.
That was pretty good, right?
Yeah, and that, of course, showcases how important a producer's role is. Is that, the producer hears something and gets it out of the band.
Right.
So without, a good producer, a lot of bands never make it because they don't have that magic, whatever it is that a producer brings to the table.
Sure. And clearly Mutt Lange is the king of that.
Right.
Obviously, when you look at what does he have? 5 albums that are diamond?
Yeah.
That he produced, the 2 Shanias, 2 Def Leppards, and the Back in Black.
Yeah.
I mean, I always said if I was in a band, I would have sold my soul to have Mutt Lange produce it.
Yeah, of course.
I would have given him, here, take 90%.
Yeah, how many bands do you think, solicited to have Mutt Lange do their album and he just couldn't do it, or just, didn't have the time, or wasn't interested, or, there just wasn't, room in the schedule or the budget, to get a Mutt Lange. Yeah. How many bands could have benefited that could have been known bands had they had a Mutt Lange, working with them?
Probably all. I mean, when you think about some of the bands that were really good but never broke, I'll throw a band like Vane out there just off the top of my head. They were really good. How good would they have been if you took those songs that became the No Respect album and had Mutt Lange working on it instead of Paul Northfield? Because they had a guy, that Paul Northfield, for people that don't remember, and I could be wrong on this, so I'm sure the fucking assholes on YouTube will correct me. But if I'm not mistaken, he was known at the time for like Rage for Order or something, like Tom Queensryche.
Sure.
And then Paul Northfield did the No Respect record for Vane. How much bigger, and I mean, those are some catchy songs, Beat the Bullet, Who's Watching You. How much more catchy would they have been if Mutt Lange worked on them?
Yeah. Or had more of a punch, or maybe maybe just a just a shift in the beat, or something that would have been more, that tuned it in just perfectly for that perfect ear candy.
Well, and just like Phil was saying in that thing, he was playing the guitar one way, and Mutt heard something, that drum cymbal or that drum beat in between the guitar riff. And that is the catchy part of the song. You know, that is the catchy part of Pour Some Sugar on Me. I don't know. I'm probably more excited that I did that interview than most people are to hear that interview. But because even as kind of a person that has drifted a zillion miles away from Def Leppard as far as musical taste, dude, there's never a time that I would turn that down. Never.
Of course not. I mean, you can't deny their contribution and the impact that they've had on, that genre of music and so on and so forth. Whether you enjoy what they do today or have enjoyed anything since Pyromania or whatever, regardless of your thoughts, they've had an impact.
Yeah. This is a band that still is doing sheds and stadiums.
They sure are.
And here they are letting my dumbass interview them. I still can't believe I got it to happen. Yeah. And believe me, I do want to thank my good friend Jody at Best Bet for hooking me up, because that was quite the get. So thank you, Jody.
That was
very much appreciated.
So I'm glad that worked out.
Yeah, it was very, very good. The interview was great. You could get it on Locals or Rumble Premium or those two places. Where's the other one? Substack. It's out there now if you're a member. If not, you fuckwads will wait till June 24th.
So there you are.
There it is.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, I was real excited about that one. I really was.
Well, I'm sure you were. I mean, getting a name talent
on that level,
that has had almost 50 years of of success.
Yeah, there's not many of those guys that I have never met. Even, I've met a lot more guys than I've interviewed with, per se. And Leppard is one of those bands. I mean, I've interviewed Vivian Campbell, but does that count? It doesn't count in my head.
No, because he's not one of the founders. Neither is Phil Collen.
Neither is Phil, but Phil's been there.
He's been during the
popular run. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, he's a 100 millionaire because of his time in Def Leppard versus Vivian Campbell.
Right.
So, but I was very excited for that. It was made my week. Yeah. After the last couple of weeks that have been pretty damn tough with all the work that I've been doing for the Pinball Palace, it was nice to get something that's right in my wheelhouse and pure me and on the biggest level that I could pretty much get. I mean, is this bigger than the Mick Mars thing a couple years ago? I mean, that was pretty big too.
Yeah, I would say it's on par.
I'd say it's on par as well. Yeah. I might even say it's a little bit bigger because the Mick Mars album didn't go anywhere.
Oh, but he's still Mick Mars though.
He is. But he's retired Mick Mars that's not doing anything versus calling in from wherever the fuck he was at. He was at home getting ready to go like in 2 days to Bulgaria or somewhere to do another Def Leppard tour. So, I don't know. It was exciting. It was definitely, it's not often that you guys are ever going to hear me say, man, I was really pumped up about doing this interview. I was really pumped up to do this interview. It was very, very cool. So thank you, Jody. Very much appreciated.
Very good. I wonder what Mutt Lange would do with Randy Trask and the Buds.
I don't know that God could do anything with Randy Trask and the Buds, let alone Mutt Lange. I mean, do you think that Mutt Lange? I'll tell you one that's more interesting. What would Mutt Lange do with that song that Tim James did? That's actually a decent song.
The good one that
the what Love Will Do or whatever that song is.
Right.
Mutt Lange could probably turn that into a hit.
He worked with Shania, and that's in a Shania vein, if you ask me. So yeah, he could probably make that a diamond seller.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? That'd be something. All these years Tim's been slaving away with Junk Punch and whatever. He works with Mutt Lange. It has a fucking 200 billion downloaded song.
Right.
That would be something. I don't know what Mutt could do with Buffoonia or whatever that was called. Buffoonia. I don't even think Mutt is that good.
Even Mutt can't do anything with this.
No, I don't think so. I think if you filled a room with Mutt, Max Norman, Brendan O'Brien, pick your producer guy, Michael Wagner, you put them all in a room, I don't think they could do much with Buffoonia. I think they'd all run.
All of them would retire.
They'd all commit suicide.
You know what? We've met our match.
Yeah. This is the stink level we cannot reach down to.
All right. Very good. All right. Well, I say we take a break.
All right.
You can go address your eye. I hope you can do something with that.
Yeah, it seems like it's all right now. A little better.
All right.
It's all blurry, though.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it is. You've been rubbing
for 30 minutes.
Shit. Yeah.
30
minutes.
Just
irritated the shit out of it.
I couldn't get the dirt out of it or whatever it was.
Yeah. All right. Well, as always, I will be going to the Fast Pass on our locals page. And if you want to know how you get a request in, you join us over at our locals page. Go over to theclassicmetalshow.locals.com. Sign up $5 a month. And Chris posts the link in there every week. Allows you, the listener who subscribes to the show and supports the show with your hard-earned cash, to where you get to pick a song for the week.
That's right.
So that's how it works. It's a little reward for those of you who support the show. So that's I only think that's fair, and I think that was a good deal for people who tune in religiously every week, and they like to get their tune played as well as their name mentioned and all that good stuff. And sometimes it helps spur some conversation. So.
Sure. Well, and they also got the Phil Collen interview 3.5 weeks early. So that's good too.
So if you want to pour some sugar on us, and subscribe to the show.
That's right.
All right. As always, I will let you start the music off. So what would you like to hear?
I would like to hear some Black Label Society with The Gospel of Lies from their Doom Crew Inc. record. I was listening to that yesterday. It's such a good record.
What is it called?
It's called Gospel of Lies.
Gospel of Lies. Let's see here. See if this comes up here. There it is. Gospel Lies. How about that? All right. As always, like I said, we're going through all the music that you guys have picked out here, and we'll play them here. And while Chris goes and handles his back end work, and make sure you guys have something to watch tomorrow. So here's Black Label Society with Gospel of Lies exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.